Maven or Cal? I don't know! Inner turmoil. Hello and welcome back to my channel, or just a welcome if you're new. My name is Victoria and today I'm going to be bringing you my Warstorm wish list. First of all, I just want to apologize for not uploading a video this week. As some of you know, if you follow me on Instagram, my dog passed away and I was just in a very negative headspace and did not have the energy to record. So I want to apologize for that because I know I usually release 2 videos a week and that did not happen. So I'm sorry, but bear with me and I love you. Secondly, you might notice I'm in a completely different place this time. This background is not my usual bookcase. That is because my roommate is home and I feel very uncomfortable filming where she can hear me being a total weirdo, so I'm hiding out in the bathroom. Secondly, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have noticed that my hair has had a complete transformation. It was quite the process to get it here because, like an idiot, I tried to bleach it myself and ended up going very orange. So I went into the salon and was like, please help me. And we ended up with this. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. Let me know in the comments what you think. My friend told me I look like an emo kid getting ready to perform some original slam poetry, but I'm kind of like, well, it's not like I wouldn't do that, so if the shoe fits, wear it. So, as you guys know, Warstorm comes out this week, and that means the final conclusion to the Red Queen series is finally upon us! Obviously, there are quite a few things that I'm hoping are going to happen, and so that's why I'm making this video, to tell you all the things that are going to happen, or that need to happen, so that I don't die, and so that my happiness can remain intact for the rest of my existence, because that is how important this book is. So, without further ado, these are 10 items that I am desperately wishing will occur in Warstorm by Victoria Aveyard. Number 1, Mare needs to dye her hair. So, I don't know if you guys remember in King's Cage, I think it was, there's this whole thing about other lightning wielders dyeing their hair to match the color of their lightning. And so as someone obsessed with dyeing their hair, I need this to happen immediately. I remember Mare being all like, oh, that's so ridiculous, why would anyone ever do that? I'm like, are you kidding me? I would totally dye my hair to match my lightning powers. It's not enough to just have lightning powers if it doesn't affect your entire aesthetic, duh. Number 2, a little more seriously, I'm desperately hoping for a redemption arc for Maven. My baby. If you guys recall, I think in King's Cage as well, we find out that Cal is actually searching for a cure for whatever Alara did to Maven's brain. So I'm really hoping that he's successful because I need him to be okay. So here's the thing, like, it's clearly a possibility and I feel like that could be foreshadowing, but knowing Victoria Aveyard, she loves to do like realistically terrible things. So I'm kind of like, if this is actually realistic, then the likelihood of this succeeding is pretty much 0. So I feel like we're getting set up to like feel like he can be redeemed and then we're just gonna have our hopes squashed and I'm gonna be broken. Number 3, I hope that Mare ends up alone. This is kind of controversial because people either clearly ship her with Maven or Cal, but personally I don't really ship her with either. I feel like one thing Victoria Aveyard is really good at doing is kind of taking typical YA tropes and turning them on their heads, making them realistic and playing off of natural human flaws. And so I feel like what would be really interesting is if we have this typical YA love triangle between the brothers and the girl and she can't choose and which one not. But it would be really cool if actually she didn't end up with either of them. I think that all 3 of them are very flawed and together, no matter which pairing it is, they just end up driving each other to become their worst selves. And I feel like in a good healthy romance, you bring out the best in each other. But in this series, I think Mare with Cal and Mare with Maven, both brothers bring out the worst in her and she also brings out the worst in them. So I'm kind of hoping that she makes peace with them, but then ultimately she decides like, bye, and then goes off to live her life alone. Number 4. Cal will opt not to take the throne. I don't know about you guys, but when Mare was all, choose me, Cal, and he was all, but the crown, Mare, I was fucking pissed, although not at all surprised. So I'm kind of hoping that despite the fact that this is completely in line with his character, he will recover what it means to truly love someone and will set aside his upbringing and his ambition and realize that actually there are some more important things worth fighting for. And I feel like he wants to take the throne because he feels like he can do something good with it, but I hope that he comes to the ultimate conclusion that democracy is better and then he steps aside and chooses not to take the throne and maybe he becomes some politician or something, like, I don't know, that could be cool too. Number 5, either Cal or Maven will die after a heartfelt forgiveness scene in which they confess their undying love for Mare. Now, at this point, I'm not really picky as to which one it is, and I suspect it's gonna be Maven, but secretly I think I'm hoping that it's Cal. And so, because Mare is not currently with either of them, and she's basically been like, bye, to go off and fight this rebellion while they do their own weird fucking things, I hope that one of them will have this big heartfelt scene on their deathbed, and then, or like, doesn't have to be on their deathbed, like maybe they'll be the final battle, and then like, Cal will, like, I don't know, give up a chance to take the throne or like to kill an important opponent to save Mare, and then he'll be all like, I've always loved you, and then he'll get like shot or something. I feel like that could be good. Basically, I want one of them to die, and I feel like in terms of storytelling, it's likely gonna be Maven, but I'm really hoping it's Cal. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Number 6, that Iris, Mare, and Evangeline will team up as a badass lady trio. Now obviously at this point they all have very different end goals, but they're all super epic and work towards their end goals in super epic ways. So I hope that they can just combine their epicness into a trio and become like the Powerpuff Girls of Warstorm. I think that would be super awesome. Realistically, they're going to be betraying each other and backstabbing, and everyone's gonna hate everyone and end up broken because that's just Victoria Aveyard, but I can dream, okay? Number 7, they'll set up a democracy. Now, this is probably like the kind of obvious conclusion because there's hints of democracy in other places in this world and it's dystopia, so usually what ends up happening is the totalitarian regime is overthrown in favor of some kind of democratic government. So I am hoping that this happens, but I also hope that much like in the Hunger Games, Mare will then just peace out to go be with her family. Because I feel like family has been a very important element in this story, particularly in Mare's personal journey. And so I feel like the conclusion I hope for is not that she'll end up in politics or ruling or being a warrior, but that she can kind of set aside that and go back to her family. Because as much as I feel like she's capable of becoming a warrior and has been one, I feel like that's not really who she is and it's just kind of breaking her apart inside. And so I hope that she can just go away and find peace and happiness and lie in a green meadow with her brothers and her sister, and everything will be okay again, and possibly a healed Maven will be there too. But not really, because I hope that she ends up alone. Number 8, that Mare will become the Warstorm. So, I don't actually know if this is what Victoria Aveyard intended, but I kind of feel like she did. First one, Mare was the Red Queen, and the second one, Mare was the Glass Sword, which I do know is true because she said it in an interview that we're supposed to interpret the title that way, and there's some quote or something where Mare's like, I'm like a glass sword, I could shatter, or something like that. And then in the third one, King's Cage, as much as Mare was in the King's Cage, she also was the King's Cage because she was totally messing with Maven's head. So I feel like if we're going to continue with this title theme, Mare is going to become the Warstorm, and it's going to be epic, and she's going to call down some purple lightning from the sky, and her hair is going to be purple, and fan art is going to be amazing, and it's going to happen. Number 9, that John will turn the tides of the rebellion with one simple small action that's completely in the background that he planned the whole time, proving which side he really was on all along. I don't know about you guys, but I find John to be a very fascinating character, and so far he seems to feel like he's working entirely out of self-interest, but I actually have this weird suspicion that he's sort of foreseen the entire rebellion and has concluded that he needs to side with certain people at certain times in order to make things happen, and he's gonna do like some subtle thing that doesn't really impact anything directly but somehow ultimately transforms the course of the war. And number 10, I hope that Sarah and Julian live happily ever after. This is quite a random sweet one, but I just feel like they've lived really hard lives and they deserve to be happy. Plus I really ship them, so please. And a bonus round, number 11. I don't have 11 fingers, so there you go. I hope that Killorn dies. I'm just gonna say it, I'm sorry, but I fucking hate him. Not that he ever did anything wrong, but I'm like, why are you even in this story? Like, he's just so fucking extra, and I don't mean in the slang way where he's over the top. I mean, like, he really is just like an extra in a movie. Like, why are you here? What are you doing? I don't know. And his whole like side romance with Mare, I was like, this is just like the Gale plot in the Hunger Games all over again, except that Killorn plays an even smaller role, so I'm like, why are you here? I don't understand. I don't know, is it just me? I mean, like, he's done a few things in the plot, but at the same time, I'm like, this whole thing could have operated completely without you. He could have just been like her brother or something, and like, it's just another way to make everybody in love with Mare, and I'm like, I don't understand because she's really not a lovable person. Like, she's kind of horrible. I say that as a horrible person, so I feel like it's okay. And that concludes my Warstorm wish list. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what's on your Warstorm wish list. I'm super stoked to read this and see which of my things actually happen. And if they all do, then I should get brownie points for being the best at predicting books. Doubtful, but one can dream. Until next time, love you all, bye!